Our next guest, Jordan Blashek, is with us, Executive Chairman of Perimeter Acquisition Corp, is joining me now. I'm glad you're with us. You have a market that has climbed the wall of worry for 3 years. Every dip was bought. We're right around the records. I know we're selling off here today. Tell me about your market thought, your general market thought, and then I want to get to AI and some of the tech thoughts you have.
Absolutely. Well, first, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you. So our general thoughts on the market at Perimeter Group is that we're in an amazing new growth environment created by two things. The first is the rise of these very powerful new technology trends led by AI, but also facilitated by revolutionary breakthroughs in a variety of different technology areas, from advanced materials to autonomy and robotics and energy storage. And that is now colliding with an administration that is pro-growth, that's removing regulations and increasing government spend in these key technologies in order to facilitate business growth.
It was interesting. I saw a CEO survey today, and while they seemed a little more nervous, they weren't pulling back on the Capex spending. And we're going to be hearing from the Mag 7 names coming up. I mean, there's one week that we got 5 of the 7. Are you expecting to see more Capex spending when it comes to AI? When we first started to see those numbers, we were balking. We were like, oh my goodness, they're going to spend how many billions? And now we're seeing the circular action where the money is just going from this one to that one to this one. Is it just right, or is it too much? Is it just right? Tell me about the spend that we've been seeing and what you expect going forward.
So there's been some recent talk about maybe we've been overspending on CapEx. Are the revenue numbers going to eventually bear out in terms of the return on investment from this CapEx? And what we would say is that we're at the very, very beginning of this AI revolution, and CapEx is front-loaded. So as you think about the data center build, a lot of that's going to go in up front, but then you're going to see the rise of AI across various sectors of the economy over the next 2-3 decades. And so this early CapEx spend, I think, is about right. I think you will likely see some air pockets in the near future as there is some turbulence in the markets. But I think long-term, unlike the infrastructure of the dot-com boom, the current AI burn is dramatic. It is using up all of that CapEx very, very quickly. And the real bottleneck is not the CapEx spend, it's going to be in energy. And I know we'll get to that soon, but we see energy as the core choke point in the AI revolution.
I mean, it's amazing how when we were concerned about charging EVs, and that's nothing compared to the data centers, right? And what we need to have when it comes to energy. And the other thing, that a conversation I've had with many guests, is at some point, investors will grow tired of how many billions are you spending? Where is the monetization? Where's the profitability? I want to see something, right? I mean, at some point, and not all AI boats will float.
So right now there's a real competitive race going on between the hyperscalers. They're all vying to see who can conquer the AI CapEx landscape more effectively. And that's everything from the data center through the energy stack itself. And you're seeing OpenAI and Meta really invest heavily in these large energy parks in order to create that sort of vertical integration. I think what we believe is that going forward, you're going to start to see more sophistication in how these things get financed, in taking advantage of the public equity markets in more effective ways, using REITs and other kinds of holding companies in order to offload some of those very CapEx-heavy assets in lighter, more efficient ways so that these companies don't have to bear it on their own balance sheet.
So when you talk about the energy part of it, and that's going to be the bottleneck, right? And I know you have some stock picks for us too, which I do want to get to. When you say a cliff that could come, in the middle of 2026, does that mean major selling for any or all of the market?
We may see a small sell-off as the CapEx spend kind of runs up against this choke point with energy. And the key thing to know is that there's almost a one-to-one correlation between AI and energy demand. So all these data centers, very, very power intensive. Today, they're taking up about 4% of the entire energy supply in the United States. We expect that to go up to 12% by 2028. So that's a massive increase in energy. And the challenge is our grid is just not up to it. We need a lot of upgrades into the electrical grid, and all these new power centers that are coming online have to go through permitting and clearance, and that's going to take time. That's average of 5 years to get a new power source online. And so our current energy and power system is just not up for the demand. And as that choke point meets the CapEx spend, we do expect to see some sell-off in 2026, 27.
So your picks now are a variety, and I mean, totally. I mean, MP materials, for example, we look at rare earth, completely different than what we're talking. Well, not really, because you need some rare earth to get everything going in the world of AI. But MP materials, GE Vernova, applied materials. Tell me a little bit about these names and why these are good names, probably to maybe navigate through.
So what we like to look for are the picks and shovels of the AI revolution, and especially as they apply to energy, as well as companies that are benefiting from the reindustrialization of America. As we think about securing our supply chains against China, we're going to be looking for companies that do things here that are vital inputs into the AI revolution. So on something like GE Vernova, they make a lot of the wind turbines, the transformers, the various parts of the electricity grid that are going to be vital. And so we see that as a good defensive, safe bet as a pick and shovel for the AI revolution. Similarly, MP Materials is beginning to onshore American processing and manufacture of rare earth metals and batteries, and magnets. And as we think about kind of bringing back onto our shores various sources of materials for batteries, they're going to be a key input into that. And things like the recent deal with the U.S. Department of Defense is a good indicator of their criticality into that supply chain.
Are you worried that it's run up so much? I mean, when you look at it 6 months, it's up 200%, year to date up 400% plus 440. But you still think it has room to the upside because of the Trump administration's push to get rare earth back here at home?
I see it as durable. I think there was a re-rating that happened when everybody realized how important this was to our various supply chains, and that's why the price shot up. But I do think this is durable, given the just overwhelming demand for rare earths and the continuing export controls that China's putting in place on their source of them.
Jordan, it's great to see you. Thank you so much. A great conversation on some hot topics when we talk about AI and energy and how to do this maybe a little differently. Jordan Blashek, Executive Chairman of Perimeter Acquisition Corp. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.